Okay.
um,
So what do you want? What's the end goal for your challenge? What should they walk away with from the challenge with? Or what would you like for them to walk away with?
I would like for them to walk away with hmm,
So
that's a
think
good
about in
question.
terms of deliverables. Um,
Hmm.
so like whether that is a helping them to develop, because I know you said it's what focused, frugal, and fit.
Right.
So and then you was there one more or was it just the Feb? I
No,
think
it's just one
February.
more. We changed it around. So focus, frugal, and fit. So basically, what I want them to walk away doing is putting God first, being more conscious of the money that they spend, and exercise, and more, just in place of like eating fast food. Because that's one thing I want to add to that when I do a video. It's like we're not gonna engage in fast food during this 21 days. Like we're not gonna spend on fast food. We're not gonna eat fast food, and we're gonna try to prepare things at home. Because I was just this basically was birthed from a frustration with myself in my money habits, and like I knew what I was doing. The Holy Spirit was convicting me. I just wasn't really
Mm-hmm.
acting on it. I wasn't changing my behavior. So the other day I just said, you know what? I'm gonna start now. And like I had made that post about dating tips and work on your body and stuff. I was like, I have to lead by example. So the other day, instead of going like I normally go to Canes or Raising Canes or something like that to eat, I just went downstairs on my lunch and I did the treadmill for 20 minutes. And so basically that's what I want the ladies to do, us all to do.
Okay. So 21 days, that's 3 weeks.
Hmm.
So what I would recommend, this is just how I would do it if I was approaching a challenge for 21 days. Since you
Hmm.
have three topics, you have focus, you have frugal, and you have fit. I always say you need to set when you talk about setting an intentionality and doing a challenge, look at,
Hmm.
are you familiar with SMART goals?
Not really.
Okay, so SMART goals basically is an acronym, and it is somewhat of a, and it's not a hard and fast cordial law. So don't,
Hmm.
but it's something that I like to use because it helps to make sure that any type of anything you challenge somebody with as far as setting goals for their life, when we talk about 21 days to set new habits, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So it goes in, it's SMART goals. S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for attainable, R stands for relevant, and T stands for time bound. So I'm going to say that
Okay.
again. S is for specific, M is
Hmm.
for measurable, A is for attainable, R is for relevant, and T is for time bound. So I would take each, I would dedicate 1 week to each of your topics. So 1 week to
Okay.
each of
Okay.
and then once I have that, so if I'm working on frugal, if I'm working on focus this week, then I'm going to apply the SMART goals. So there needs to be, by the end of that 7 days that we're going to dedicate to looking at focus, how to get focused, then your SMART goal is going to say specifically what should they walk away with as it pertains to getting more focus that they can replicate later on after the challenge. You need to leave them with something that is small enough to where it's not super hard for them to actually do it every day, or however whatever the goal is, or the habit is. It's not hard enough for them to, so they won't run up against resistance with it, but it's also
Hmm.
still just enough challenge to give them something to reach for. So
Okay.
specifically, you need to say, okay, what should they walk away with? So with focus, maybe that goal is to look at what's distracting you. And so if that's your cell phone, then maybe the focus goal could be something like, we're going to cut our cell phones off for an hour a day so that we can focus on whatever. And that's something that they can then apply to the rest of the SMART goals
Hmm.
thing, where it's measurable. So they can measure it. So how will they know when they've achieved it? Well, when they're checking off their list that they cut their phone off every day for an hour. So that's something that they can actually measure. Then you have
Hmm.
attainable. Is it something that they can actually do? So yes, it is something that they can actually do. Like I said, it needs to be easy enough to where it's not going to cause them to have a bunch of resistance because it seems hard, but it
Hmm.
also needs to be a challenge a little bit So it gives them something to reach for, but then also it needs to be relevant. So it needs to have meaning. It needs to be meaningful to them. And so sometimes, and people have different opinions on what relevant means in terms of SMART goals. But I always say it needs to be relevant to them, to where it speaks to a pain point, to where that it motivates, it gives them it's relevant to them because it gives them some motivation because they're trying to get rid of this pain point.
Okay.
I always say that it's easier to sell a cure than it is prevention. And I'm gonna say that again, it's easier to sell people a cure than it is prevention, because again, prevention, you don't have the pain. You're working,
right.
you don't get the pain. But when you have somebody that's in pain, that they're more motivated to take action on something. That's why it's easier to sell them a cure. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because now I'm in pain. So now I can't hardly function because I'm in pain. So versus when you just talk about preventing something, there's no real pain point. So there's no real motivation to take any real action on it. And then time bound, then you need to say, okay, this is the time frame we're going to do it in. There needs to be a deadline, or there needs to be some sort of a time stamp to give them a certain amount of time to do it in. So I would say to do each week like that, like dedicate 1 week, since you're having 21 days. And then at the 21 days, then they say, okay, we're going to be more focused, we're going to be more frugal, and we're going to be more fit. And this is how, and this is how we will know that we have reached those goals, because they're very specific as far as what you're going to work with them through. And then it's very measurable, so that you'll know when you've actually done it. You know what I'm saying? So you'll know that you actually reach the goals. And then even for frugal, it may be something of helping them to either maybe like set up a budget, or not even just setting up a budget, but just writing down what they're spending, or starting to track their spending habits.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you want to give them the easiest first step. So it may not be full out going through budgets, setting up your investment accounts for retirement, and
right.
It may just be, hey, we're going to start tracking our spending to actually see where the problem lies. Because a lot of people, they just don't know. They know they have cancer. They just don't know what stage it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to kind of give them a starting point to say, this is how we know, this is where the problem is, because now I've assessed myself, I've assessed my spending, and it will open their eyes at the end of that 7 days to say, oh wow, I do have some issues here with spending too much money on Starbucks, or maybe I'm spending too much money on unnecessary items, because I've tracked my spending for these 7 days. And that's easy enough to where, you know what I'm saying, because when you talk about finances, that's a real, that's a real hot button for a lot of people, because a lot of people just don't want to deal with finances. They rather just not deal with it than actually try to plug up the hole. So it's a lot of layers that you have to work through. And I think that, like I said, when you're approaching what's going to be the measurable goal for each of these facets of your challenge, I would say break it down to the lowest common denominator. What's going to be the easiest thing for them to implement within 7 days?
Okay.
Because keeping in mind, we only have 7 days, but then that gives them a chance to develop a small habit first. Have you ever read the book Atomic Habits?
Yeah, I bought that book, and I haven't finished it yet, but I need to finish it before we start.
Okay, so
I did buy it because you
actually
suggested
something that has helped me. I have Atomic Habits, but I bought the Cliff Notes version. It's not Cliff Notes. It's on Audible. It's only like about it isn't even 40 minutes, and it basically breaks down that book in regards to what the main points are, like what is he really saying. And so that's something, when you read it, if you read it, or if you can find I think it's Dean somebody, he does like these condensed versions of books. And so Atomic Habits, I haven't read the full book, but I read that condensed version, and to me it was just enough to where it really made sense, because he was saying it needs to be easy for them to implement it. It needs to be small, so they can implement it. So I would break it down to like the lowest common denominator, and before you say, okay, this is what we're going to do, you always need to run it through SMART goals. and say, okay, is it very specific what we're going to do? Then is it measurable? Will they have a way to know that they've actually achieved it? Because like I said, you don't want people to feel like it's just some sort of a black hole to where they don't know, okay, did I do it? Did I reach
Yeah.
my goal? You want to give them some point to where they can congratulate themselves for doing that.
Mhm.
Okay, is that making sense?
That's making sense. That's making
Okay,
sense.
okay, great.
What's easiest to do? Okay, and then the other one was like trying to see, just should I create a workbook, or should I be
I would
sending emails daily? I
so
was
I
just
would
trying to go back
say
and forth with that.
yes. So you need to definitely have your email set up. Now, is this the first time you've actually ever done an email sequence?
Yes.
Okay, who do you have for your email provider?
Um, I have MailChimp. What do you mean, like as far as
Yeah,
Gmail?
MailChimp. That's what I'm
I
talking
have.
about. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
I have
so
MailChimp.
MailChimp, they have, I'm sure, because I used to use MailChimp. That was actually the first one that I used. So MailChimp is they have where you can set up, I don't know if they call them sequences or if they call them automations. Do you know what they call them in MailChimp?
I'm not 100% sure. I have to go back and take a look at it.
Okay, and so you want to make sure that they allow you, because are you on a free account or are you paying for MailChimp right now?
I think I'm on a free account, but
Okay,
if I
so
need to pay for it,
let me see, let me, hold on. I don't think I'm sharing my screen, am I? Can you see my
let's
screen?
see. Uh-uh.
Okay, so let me see if I can share my screen with you. Um, Hold on, Leteri. Anyway, well, before I do that, so you need to figure out what they actually will allow you to do in terms of automation on a free account. Because I don't
Mhm.
know. Like I said, I'm so far removed from Mailchimp. I haven't used it in years. I think after I moved from Mailchimp, I went to Aweber. Then I went from Aweber to ConvertKit, and I know
Mhm.
that they are called sequences and automations in ConvertKit. And so
Okay.
basically, what you'll need to do, or what I would do, is you need to, I would say, like it would be good to create a workbook, just so they'll have something to follow along. And this is the thing with workbooks. You don't want to make them, you don't want to write an ebook. You just want to keep it very, 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 very simple and concise, because what you want to do is, if you're doing, because are you going to be doing, like, how are you going to be implementing the challenges every day? Are you going to do video, or what are you going to do?
That's what I was thinking about doing, email. I know I want to start with a video, but I didn't know. I wasn't sure about how often I should do a video.
Okay, so what you could do, if are you trying to do it live, or are you trying to do everything to where it's pretty much automated?
Automated.
Okay, so everything is you're trying to automate, because I was going to say you could just go live every day.
That's what I
Like,
could. That might be the most simplest thing for me to do
because,
is
and
go
you can
live.
go live and then see if you can save your lives. So, but this is the thing though, because you want to capture those women to let them know that you're going live. Like,
Okay.
hey, I'm going live. So you want to maybe do, hey, sign up for my, February Focus Frugal and Fit Challenge. But you want to say, you want to sign up not just to be notified of every time I go live, but also to get the workbook and the scriptures that we'll be using, so that you can stay on point. You can follow along with us each evening whenever I go live.
Right. Okay.
And so that way it actually opens up. And I would say each and every time you go live, you would always say, hey, because some people may stumble across your live, they haven't signed up for your challenge. So you
Mhm.
always want to make sure that you introduce yourself and introduce that this is for the live, for the challenge, because if people come back and watch the replay, they'll need to know exactly what it is too. However, you need to also say at the end, hey, if you aren't if you want I would recommend, or however you want to put it, get the workbook. You need to sign up using the link in my bio, or, wherever you are. If you go Facebook Live, link in the comments, or however you do it.
Okay.
wherever you think your biggest audience and draw would be, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. I think those, Periscope too, you know, for Twitter, but I would say either Facebook or Instagram to start with. And
Okay.
then just say, you know, do this. But when you do your workbook, keep it very, very simple. Maybe fill in the blanks, or just even like notes, like, you know, where they can just write their own notes, or reflections to do after the challenge, or space to just reflect on what that day's challenge was. You know, and what I would say
Okay.
is, for this is, when you go live, make sure you save those lives.
Okay.
And but I've heard, now this is the thing, I've heard that Instagram has been giving people a lot of trouble as it pertains to saving their lives.
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah, I could not save my. I tried everything. I couldn't save my life. I went back to add to the story. I did it after the fact, but it didn't save, so that's gone. Whatever. I went live on the other day just to introduce the idea,
now, you
but
know, there's an app too that I use sometimes if I just kind of want to be bootleg, Lataria. Let
mhm.
me find it for you. It is what is the name of this app? Hold on. And it actually goes on my screen. It's a screen recorder. Let me see. Let me see if I can screen. Let me see if I can find it on here. Screen recorder. Which one that I have? It's a screen. It's not showing me whichever one. Let me see what I have on here to see if I can find my give me just a second. Purchase.
Okay.
So because what I said that because um what you could do is to, when you go back and play your live, like once it saves to your actual Instagram page,
Mhm.
you can go back and maybe play your live and just record it from your screen like that.
Okay.
If you do Facebook, it's gonna save on your timeline.
Right.
And then you can actually, even there's an app that you can use to actually download your Facebook videos and stuff too, if it's you downloading. And you can, because I do it all the time.
Okay.
And they're usually free. I'll have to
Okay.
try to look for that. If you do Facebook, it's gonna automatically save to where you can have it. And that may be, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Which one do
Mhm.
you feel more comfortable with as far as where your audience is?
I feel like I'm getting more traction on Instagram versus Facebook.
Okay.
That's what I
Now
think I might be leaning towards.
you could do, now what you could do, and I've done this and you've been a part of it. I created a Facebook group, but I took the people off of Instagram and just add, like in my email, my automated email to them once they sign up, I say,
Mhm.
hey, make sure you go sign up for the Facebook group, and I'm gonna go live in Facebook every night.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Tell
then
them to sign up.
bring the people over to Facebook, to your Facebook group, so that you can create synergy inside of your Facebook group.
Okay. Right.
But they're still, but
And
at the same time, then you killing two birds with one stone, because now you have them on your email list, and you
mhm.
have them in your Facebook group, to where you can actually
Mhm.
talk with them after the challenge, you know, keep them engaged after the challenge. And then, because
Mhm.
that's still social media, but you still have them on your email list as well.
Okay.
And then you can actually put your workbook, a copy of your workbook in there, and they can actually go back and revisit the days for the challenge. So if they miss a day, if they miss a live, they can just go back and watch it within the group, within the comfort of the group.
Okay.
Instead of possibly missing it, you know, if they don't watch it within the 24 hours, you know.
Right.
And then, like I said, you'll have them for future challenges, so that you can have that content, and you could
Mhm.
possibly just do it next time. It'll be truly automated. You know, I always
Mhm.
say your first one needs to be a beta test, because you'll
Mhm.
have people that are interacting with you live. So they may be asking you questions about
Mhm.
this or that, and it'll give you more content. And then again, it'll pull on you as a coach to be able
Mhm.
to reach within yourself, to be able to start now answering their questions and really nurturing them within that group.
Right.
So
Okay.
I would say do a Facebook group. Um, And then, like I said, each time you may want to do a challenge every month. And then you have
Mhm.
all of your people that are doing your challenges within that Facebook group. And then you can start kind of organizing your content and building up your content with all of these
Mhm.
videos. And then you can
Mhm.
just download all of your videos. And then there's a way that you can use, like, depending on how you want to do it, where you can store your videos or host your videos to where you can just then you can create a truly automated thing with each video, um,
Mhm.
inside of your emails. So you can say day 1, day 2, day 3 email, and you can
Mhm.
still do that. Like, you can send out an email each day. Like, this is day 1 of the frugal fit and focus frugal and fit challenge. Here's your
Mhm.
scripture for today. Be sure to join the every single email you need to remind them, if you haven't already joined the Facebook group, make sure you join the Facebook group. And then I'll be going live tonight at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you put a couple time zones on there,
Okay.
for people. And then I'll be going live in the group. So make sure you are in the Facebook group to get your questions answered live.
Mhm.
And then also, if you need the workbook, then if you didn't download your workbook, here's a link to download the workbook as well. And so I would create that Facebook group, because that could create a lot of synergy for future challenges. And it's just easier to save your content and your videos in Facebook,
Right.
versus Instagram. Instagram is doing something so crazy. I don't know what's going on with Instagram.
Yeah.
They have me
Mm.
blocked from doing lives on Instagram, and I still don't know why.
Wow. That's
Yeah, they still
crazy.
don't know why. That's why I said, if I didn't have like my system set up to where I'm not relying on social media, I would be messed up if I was relying on my Instagram live, because they blocked it, and so
Mhm.
they still haven't unblocked it. And I
That's
don't know
crazy.
why. I keep reaching out to them through the thing, but I still haven't really gotten a response. I haven't gotten a response at all. So I said that to say, that's one of the things we're going to be talking about in this next module, about the platforms. So
Mhm.
learning where your people are, learning what platforms your style of presentation favors as well. So if
Mhm.
you have a more professional, LinkedIn is there. You still have Pinterest out there. A lot of people get a lot of traffic off LinkedIn and Pinterest. They're not
Mhm.
platforms. I think I'm going to start merging myself over on LinkedIn, because I've
Mhm.
heard a lot of great things. But that's what we're going to talk about, is making sure that you are not. I always recommend you start with one platform, but also start looking at some of the other platforms as far as how you can
Mhm.
capitalize on some of those, so you don't have all of your eggs in one basket.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, I
true.
would
I
recommend
just
you start that Facebook group.
Okay, I'm gonna start the Facebook. And what I've noticed about Instagram is just it gives people a chance that don't even know you to begin following you. And
Yeah,
it seems more easier than Facebook,
it
because
is. It is.
usually,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I really like about it. So,
And then too,
yeah.
if you do your hashtags right, it gives you a
Yeah.
chance to start getting out there, and people that are following certain hashtags to start really connecting
Yeah.
with your content. But
I
my
noticed
goal, even
that.
if it's Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, you always need to have your email list so that you can communicate with people no matter what, because social media
Mhm.
platforms come and go. Yeah, we're riding high on Facebook and Instagram now, but who's to say the next Instagram and Facebook won't come along and wipe both of them out? So you don't want to just
Right.
rely on people hearing from you only on social media. You want to get them off, give them something of value to get them
Mhm.
on your email list. And I like challenges for the fact that it gets people motivated. Um,
Right.
Now, here's my next question for you. Since does all of that make sense, or are there still some gaps as far as maybe some other
No,
things you could do?
it
Okay,
makes
so this
sense.
is my thing. What are you, if once they do the challenge, then what? Are you linking it to a paid product, or what are you gonna do after the challenge is over?
Well, I was thinking about linking it to a paid product, and I know I gave the idea of a shirt, or I was thinking a journal or something like that, but I just really kind of find what it is that, because I know that my whole branding is just singles, thriving in singleness and just being a single woman, single mother, or what have you. But it's like, okay, so what are my materials? Like, what all am I selling, just besides, okay, I want to get into speaking, yeah, but what are my tangibles? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I know I like shirts, but I mean, everybody has a shirt, which I mean, that's not a bad thing, but I know I wanted to
Do
get
you
out
have a
there like,
quote? Like, what would the shirt say? What's your tagline?
I really don't. I mean, because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm tying undeniably unique in, because I got that whole LLC that I bought, and I wasn't sure. God gave me like I think it's either First Peter 2:9 or Second Peter 2:9. I can't remember, but it's something about a peculiar people.
Mhm.
So that's what I
Oh yeah,
have
yeah.
for that.
Mhm, Peter. Uh-huh.
But I just trying to tie it all in because
So
I
when you
have
say undeniably unique LLC, what are you trying to tie in that you're struggling with tying into that? Would the paid product not be underneath your LLC?
I think it should be.
I mean, because it could be, like I said, undeniably unique is just kind of like the holding tank for any of your business products.
Right, right,
So
right, right.
it doesn't have to necessarily be, as long as you're, making sure everything is on the up and up from a IRS
Hmm.
standpoint, like
Hmm.
you can funnel any of your paid stuff underneath your LLC as far as what you're trying to do, as long as, like I said,
Hmm.
you're keeping everything on the up and up from that. Um,
Right.
have you looked in the group where I did the lesson rather underneath module 2 about finding your unique selling proposition?
I have not. I need to go into
Yeah, look under there because that may help you to be able to come up with a product idea. I'm
hmm
trying to think of some more resources that I have that would help you. Now, I would say for this particular challenge, because of the fact that it's your first, I'm real big about starting out with like seeing if you can create a digital product. So
Okay.
it may be like maybe your one-on-one coaching. Maybe this is a chance for you, because I always say before you create a lot of passive income, you have to do the active work first.
hmm
So maybe this is a chance for you to maybe sell your coaching package or do a group coaching in regards to whether they want to go deeper in any of those particular topics.
Okay.
So does that kind of resonate as far as like,
Yeah, that makes
okay,
sense. I was
and so
thinking that,
because
like,
it really doesn't cost you anything other than your time. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
And so when
right.
you have, because you're going to be guiding them, and hopefully by the end of the challenge they're going to be looking to you as somebody that's becoming, that they're getting to know, like, and trust, as I always say. So
hmm
this may be an opportunity for you to possibly do like a coaching, start with some of your
hmm
coaching and stuff like that,
hmm
or
Okay.
creating an ebook. Well, I would say more than likely some one-on-one coaching, because again, it's going to give you a chance when you do one-on-one coaching or even group coaching. It gives you a chance to hone in on your chops as a coach,
Okay.
because you're now helping people work through problems, and it puts you on the path to creating a methodology or a
hmm
way that you help people solve this specific problem.
hmm Right.
So, like for me, I've been working on my 3M framework, keeping it meaningful, memorable, and monetizable in
hmm
regards to being a coach. So that's a framework or a methodology that God is giving to me, and it's still being developed. But again, that's one of the things that I talked about, and I'm gonna post about it probably Monday. There's a book that I've been reading called Clockwork by Mike McAllowitz. And it
hmm
basically teaches you how to create systems and things in your business that pull you out of your business. And so I was thinking, yes, Rachel L. Proctor International is a personal brand right now, but I can't really pass down me to my kids. I want to have a
Right.
business that I can actually pass down to them.
hmm
I can't
Right.
pass down my personal brand to
Because
them.
it's
I
you.
want to have a business. And so essentially what Rachel L. Proctor is International is becoming, it is becoming a faith-based business education company where
hmm
we teach a certain methodology or a certain method to approaching building a kingdom business and
Right.
using certain skills. So it doesn't require me to be in there to be able to teach that. I can teach the method to different people, and they can teach it
Mhm.
to other people, and they can teach the lessons that we're teaching to other people.
Right, right, right. That makes a lot of sense.
So you want to kind of think along those terms, but I think before you get to that, there has to be a lot of active work in regards to the one-on-one coachings and the consultations with people, really seeing what people's problems are to show you where your where your strengths are as a coach. And it really gives you a chance to find your voice and your footing. And again, it helps you start developing a method of doing things in your business and looking at your values. So I would say, like at the end of the coaching session, it could be to where if people want to go deeper into the things, because again, you're just giving them a taste. This isn't meant to, you're not throwing in the whole, the whole everything but the kitchen sink type of thing. Like, you're giving them a taste of who you are as a coach, what you stand for, what you believe, how you can help them. But then you say, okay, at the end of this 21 days, if you guys want to go deeper, I offer coaching packages. And these are the packages. Maybe it's an hour, a 1 hour session, a week or something like, I don't know, or a strategy session, and you'll be able to kind of feel what you think you'll be able to do, because I want you to also keep in mind your own time in regards to your job, your kids, and all of that, as far as when you would actually have time to do it. But and that may be the challenge. However, that's where I recommend you really get started, because it's really going to help build your confidence too.
Okay. And then I have another question that's on the first week when we go over focus. And I know you mentioned distractions, which is good because there are a lot of distractions. So can I go off into like their intake, as far as like, what are you constantly feeding yourself? What are you listening to?
Absolutely.
What are you watching? Okay. I just want to make sure, because
definitely
I want people to know that this is me. Like, I'm gonna be Jesus and Bible, and it ain't just, are we gonna be cute and all that? Like, nah, we gonna get to it.
Yeah. I think that's what you need to hit it. You need to start with, first of all, what are you taking in? Because what you feed yourself, whether that's mentally, what you're through any of your eye gates, your ear gates, you know what I'm saying? And even your mouth gate. That's what we're talking about, being fit. I mean, the stuff that you're intaking into your body as far as your food. Then we talk about the two, and the stuff that you're watching. So, those three gates. So, and you want to give people, and you pray, you have a prayer life. So you pray and ask God what's too much and what's not enough. Because I think sometimes we play it small because we feel like, oh, people can't handle this. Well, no, sometimes they need that realness, because that's what people resonate with, is authenticity.
Right.
They don't need anybody trying to tell them something and they trying to act like they perfect. That's not going. Yeah, no, this is how I know that this is why you don't need to do this, because I've been down that road for you. So let me share my lessons with you, so you don't have to go down that road.
Okay. And I was just going to ask you, what should it fall under, focus, or how you were saying fit, with like the intake, but I know it should be focused, because I'm thinking more like the things that you listen to, the things that you see, like you listen to this or you see this, you're going to want to go out and buy it, or you're going to want to go, eat it.
Yeah, I think all of that needs to be under your focus. It's like, even your focus, thinking about like your eyes, like what are you focus? I'm thinking of, like, I see like a lens. And so, yeah, I would even say, yeah, all of that needs to fall under what are you focusing on. And so you can break that up. And like I said, I would say to give yourself, when you're talking about like mapping out your scripts, so to speak, or what you're going to speak on each day. Or you could do it like this, Lataria. Maybe you could say, Saturday and Sunday, you have the day off. This is what you need to maybe like you could do an email and say this, we won't be meeting in the group, to give yourself a break, because you're going to be going live those other days.
Right.
But just say, this is what you need to be meditating on. And then this is to prepare you for the next week, since you're going to be flipping topics, completely flipping topics.
Okay.
And so this is what we're going to be working on, and again, always encourage them to invite somebody out. If they like, just always say, and I'll have this recording. Do you mind if we put this recording in the mastermind, or do you want?
I don't mind.
So, and I could just label this as just this was kind of like a one-on-one call, so they'll know what it is. Because some of the other calls have been, where there's been various topics, but this will help a lot. I think this may help a lot of people. You need to prepare, say, okay, this is what we're going to be preparing for. And then always encourage them to say, by saying, hey, if you're finding value in this, invite somebody else that to join the group. It doesn't have to be that they have to be in at the very beginning and nobody, like, you need to just always be allowing people to come in, because if you're inviting them into the Facebook group, then, they're going to be, the videos from previous videos are going to be available for them to watch to catch up.
Okay.
And then always just, encourage them, hey, if you're finding value, invite a friend, to be a part of the group, but I would say use your Saturday and Sunday. It's just a day to debrief. Maybe Saturday could be the debrief day, as far as like in an email summation, like do a summation via email, to everybody. And then Sunday is the day that you prep them for that next week. Maybe do an overview of what's to come. Okay. So Saturday could be your summation day, where you say, hey, this is what we went over. This is your homework. This is what you should have gained from this. But always be asking questions. Always make sure, especially when you're live, making sure everything is clear. Always saying, is this making sense? And then if they have any questions or prayer requests, stuff like that, always ask for those too.
Okay. Definitely.
Because the questions, I love when people ask questions, because it gives you ideas for content, because it lets you know what's on your audience's mind and what they want to learn and what they want to know about. But here's the thing. If it's a struggle for somebody needs to be talking about it.
Right. So, like real talk.
So there's that. So I think that you shouldn't shy away. I'm not saying just get out there and just be vulgar talking out.
No.
Vulgar, like I said, ask the Lord to give you wisdom on how to word it. But again, I think that's why so many people struggle in silence, and they get the wrong information, and they end up doing things that are detrimental, and they end up staying on cycles because nobody's stepping up to talk about it to help break the cycle.
Right.
It is, and there are things that we all struggle with, but God can give you a point to where you gain strength and you do gain victory. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what He came for, is to give us victory over death, hell, and the grave. And so some of the stuff that we give ourselves permission to keep struggling with is just because we don't want to stop doing it.
Exactly.
But God will keep you if you want to be kept, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, so, I'm a living witness.
And that's what people need to know. Some people just say, oh, it's a struggle, I'm struggling, because you just don't want to stop doing it. But if you really set your intentions towards God to say, God, I need help with this, I need you to help me with this, He will help you. He's not a God that He's going to sit there and watch you struggle. If the Bible says any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives it freely. So if there's something that you don't understand or you're struggling with, you don't have to live life as is. You don't have to live your life in the dark. God will give you that. That's James 1:5. But you can't be double-minded in it. And that's my thing, is when you talk about being double-minded, because if you're double-minded, you won't get anything from God. That ain't Rachel talking. That's the Bible.
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, kind of going back to your original point, is that, so I think that's cool. Okay, so let's make sure we got you a plan of action. So when we get off, I think this has been good and helpful for you. So let's make sure you have. So what do you have as far as what I said and what you heard me say, to make sure what I'm saying is what you heard?
Oh, I got a page full of stuff. Okay, so we're gonna start with so I'm going to split since I only have 21 days, I'm going to split my categories up. We're going to have a focus, we're going to have frugal, and we're going to have fit. I'm going to create a workbook, make it simple but concise. I'm going to leave space for them to do notes, take notes, about just their habits and then what they hear from me. I'm going to create a Facebook group. Go live every night, rest on Saturday, let them know that we're resting, that it's a time for rest, and reflection, and then Sunday I'm going to give them, okay, this is what we're going to do for the next week. Prepare yourself, et cetera, et cetera.
And then do you have, you need to check your MailChimp to see if it allows you to do like automated emails so that you're not trying to send emails in real time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
check to make sure your free account will let you do those. Then
Mm-hmm.
also, how are you going to host your documents? Do you have Dropbox, Google Drive? What do you have?
I have Google Drive and what is it? Google Docs?
Okay,
I
so
think
you have
Google
Google.
Docs.
Okay, so how
Yeah.
are you going to create your workbook? What are you going to use to create your workbook?
Either Google Docs or
Do you
Canvas,
have
if I
Canva?
can use Canva, I mean, or a mixture of both. Can I do it all in
So
Canva?
yes,
Because
you
I
can.
have
Okay,
the
so
paid program.
here's what I would recommend. I would recommend you use Canva, but here's a tip. Here's a tip for you to, and this is for everybody that may come back and watch the replay. To make a workbook, what's really easy, go to creativemarket.com.
Okay.
Creativemarket.com, and they have, and make sure that it says templates for Canva. And you can
Okay.
look, I mean, they have all kind of templates. So workbooks, like they have all sorts of stuff for coaches. Hold on. As a matter of fact, let me share my screen with you, Lateria.
Okay.
I'm gonna share and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you
Okay. Because I
exactly what
have Canva. I actually have the paid account on Canva because Canva is just like, it's amazing. You don't have to
Canva
hire
is.
people to do that.
Canva is bae. Do you understand me?
Yes, Lord.
Market. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Creative Market. I don't know if I'm logged in on Creative Market on here. So, okay, so templates, templates, presentations, mock-up branding. Where is my, oh, let me, this, look, how about this? Coaching. Let me do ebook, Canva. Okay, so look, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these can be used in Canva.
Okay.
So let's just do this one. Let's just do the, well, let me see one that looks like something you may like. Okay, so let's just pick this one.
Girl, you already know I'm going for that color.
So this is, I want to say it, so you can use, see where it says click and customize. So you can use it in Canva, InDesign, or Photoshop. So
Okay.
we want to make sure that it says it can be used in Canva. And so
Okay.
this is the page. It's like it gives you these templates already. So you just fill this stuff in and change
Oh,
it
this
around
is
as you
gonna
need.
be bad too.
And then this will give you, like I said, it'll give you all of these to create your workbooks, and it'll tell you this is, so it has like all of these different pages, and then like I said, you can just put it inside. See, this is one inside of Canva, and then and then let me just, as a matter of fact, let me just see how it's at all the different pages. Now this
Oh
is
yeah,
not a
that's
workbook,
cute.
this is more of an ebook. So let me do
Right.
workbook. Hold on. Workbook template. Okay, so this is a 56 course workbook template. So let me show you. This will give you a better idea of what you can do with this. So here are the pages, like where you can insert your module title here, fill in the blanks here. It has all sorts of pages. See
Okay.
how you can do like a weekly planner. They even have
Yeah.
some, like if you want to create a planner.
Yes,
Watch
and that's
this.
what another, I want to create a planner. Like I love
So
planners.
template, planner template. So here's a planner template, and you can just do it however you want to get it done. Hold on, let me see, my computer running slow. Okay, so you can use your monthly planner. So this is actually what one of the things, and I want to say this is the template I used to create my quarterly planner. So I think this is, so this will help you, like if you want to do your quarter, do a planner. And so they have templates for everything in here, Terry. So like, let me show you
So
something.
do people do e-planners? So like, do people purchase planners where they just print
And
them out
print
their
it
stuff and
down.
they use them?
Yep. And then, like I said, if you have my quarterly planner, I show you how to print it down, what to print down, and then how to put it in a binder. Like, and some people even have it
Yeah.
to where you can take it. Like, there is a let me see if I can find this the Bible recap.com. Let me see if I can, it may be .org. Online privacy. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. Okay, it's not. It's doing something weird. So let me just search for Bible recap. No, I don't. I just want to search for it.
Mhm.
Okay, let me see the Bible recap. Okay, let me see. Let me show you. I did all this to show you what she has in her store for her planner. So let me show
Okay.
you the Bible recap. She has a, where is it at? Let me see. I like to use this example for that. To show you. See, she has like all of her days where you can purchase them for $1. Like she does a different daily lesson.
Mhm.
I don't see it. Hold on, let me see. There is a Bible recap sticker repeat accessory bundle. She has it to where, let me see, it may be under here. Oh no. I think I just saw it. Fill in digital download. Okay, so here it
Mhm.
is. Can you see that? So her
Yeah.
Bible recap journal, fill in digital download. So you can read
Mhm.
that real quick.
Okay.
So it corresponds with her reading plan. It
Mhm.
includes the reading plan. It has 2 pages. Then you can print it out or have it printed and bound at an office supply store. See?
Okay.
And so she has
Yeah.
given instructions on how to do that.
Okay.
But people do buy, and it's only $8 versus her physical one, which is $18.
Right. Because she's doing the work.
Yeah, because they're doing, it's a physical product.
Right.
So hopefully that kind of gives you a better idea. But back to this right here.
Mhm.
This is an easy way to get it done fast. And then you just
Okay.
basically are going to put it in Canva, and then you're going to tailor it, change the color. You can even change the fonts, all of that. So let me see if I can find one of what I did. So all my designs, child, I have so many designs in Canva. It don't even make no good
Yeah.
sense. Um, let me see which one I did. Let me find the one that I've done that was a creative market. This one. So this, my quarterly journals was a creative market. And I think I even took the frame off that one that we saw, this one right here. This
Mhm.
one, I want to say this was it. And I think I just changed the text message, the text.
Mhm.
I think this was in there, and I just again added my own pictures.
Mhm.
And see here in Canva, you can add links. So these actually have a link to my YouTube videos.
Mhm.
So like here where you have, let me move that. See, it has a link in there. You see where I have this up here?
Right.
So they can actually, I'm telling them, go watch this video first. Go watch the
Mhm.
binder setup video. All of that. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I present. Let me show you where to. So see how I changed to the little finger, meaning there's a link
Mhm.
right there. So watch
Yeah.
that. It takes you over to the YouTube video.
Oh
This is
yeah.
showing you. This is showing you how to use and how to set your binder up.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are just some ideas
Okay.
to help you get your workbook done quickly.
Okay.
And even if you wanted to do an ebook about something else, or if you wanted to start with the ebook, but like I said, I would, because people are going to, hopefully and prayerfully, people will start gravitating to you as a coach and what you have to say just as a coach. And so they may
Mhm.
want to continue learning about how to like set up their budgets, or how to, whatever just how to continue in what they were learning in the challenge. So a good
Mhm.
place, and you may want to have more than one option for them. So I'm not just saying
Mhm.
stop there, but I'm saying I would definitely have that as an option. And
Mhm.
equally quickly setting up your coaching, stuff like that.
Mhm.
What I'll do is, let me write this on I will put in a template for like a coaching contract.
Okay.
Do you have a scheduling tool already?
I do. What is that doggone thing I'm using?
Calendly, Acuity.
Acuity.
Okay. And so have, where you have your schedule set up already, so that what you don't want them to do, because I've done this, and what happens is you'll lose the momentum.
Mhm.
So on that very last day of the challenge, you want to say, I hope you all have enjoyed it. And you're probably asking yourself, how can I get more? How can we stay connected? And you can let them know that these are some of the things that you actually have. Let them know that, of course, they'll be able to continue to utilize the group. However, you won't be going live in the group, as like you were, but they can continue if they want to work with you like this, or you have, an ebook. But like I said, I think that in order to be able to get content and to hone your chops before you start just really, really writing a whole lot of more content, because it could possibly be, like I said, the same content that you were given in the challenge. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they can go back and watch the videos if they want to hear that again. So
Right.
I would want to say, if you want to get more specific, tailored approach, then you can take one of my coaching packages, or we can do just maybe a laser strategy session so that you can see how I work. Or like I said, you may want to start a group, some sort of a group, group coaching, to where you maybe go live or something like that. But like I said, I would approach it from just doing one-on-one first, and then like
Right.
I said, even just trying to see if for sure, or helping you learn more about who your ideal customer is,
Okay.
who your target is.
And that way I feel like I can hear the women and just see what the different struggles are, and see what, women are, the voice of the women, like what are they consistently saying, what is the consistent issue, etc.
Yeah, and in your Facebook group, you're gonna get that. If they're engaged with what you're saying, you're gonna get that, as far as stuff that you can use in terms of even writing your copy. So when I say copy, just like your website copy, your posts, your social media posts, because the more they talk, the more you get to hear their voice. And then you, as a coach and as a marketer, you're gonna start mimicking their voice. If you get what I'm saying, does that make sense? You're
Yeah.
going to start giving it back to them, as far as
Okay.
you're going to start writing out your stuff like they're talking. You're going to start using phrases that they use. Like, sis, like, that may not be one, but I know that's a lot of my target audience, they use the word sis.
Yeah.
So you're going to
Instead of the
start
other
talking
one.
like they talk,
Yeah.
because it's going to resonate with them.
Okay. That makes sense.
And so, do you have this as far as creative market?
I don't, but I'm gonna log in, register, do whatever I need to do
Okay.
ASAP, because I'm definitely gonna be using that with Campbell. I like
Yeah,
that.
and like I said, they'll show you how to do it. Basically, it will, if your Canva account is like open on your, like if you have a tab or something like that open, I think it's just like a link that they put on there or something, like it's some kind of way that they like link, you'll download something, and then it's like a link that they'll put in there, and it'll take you over to Canva. And you can delete, you can delete pages that you don't need, you don't have to use, because some of them have like 50 and 60 different types of pages. Just use the ones
Okay.
that you need. And then you can always, I want to say there's a license that you can buy, that you can use it as much as you need to use it. So you may use some pages with one ebook that you may not use with another word. So you can delete that stuff, and you know how to use Canva. So yeah, you
Yeah.
can delete it out of there and change the colors, change the fonts, add your own pictures, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a big help. I like that. I like that. And so if I get into the blogging, like how often should I blog? Like it's once a month too. I think I have been like shying away from not doing it because I don't want to run out of material, or I feel like, yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to either run out of material or say something somebody else
Well,
has said, which is inevitable.
as long as you're listening to your audience, and as long as you're growing as a coach, you'll never run out of material. That's your last concern. Now,
Okay.
I say every day is too much, but once a month is not enough.
Okay.
So I would say, if you can, now I would say to start with, once a month may be your goal. But
Okay.
again, and I'm gonna teach more. I think it's module 5, as far as how to start planning out your content. Because now the problem for me is I have too much content. It ain't that I'm running
Mm.
out. I have too much stuff to say. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like, how do I make it make sense, and how do I make sure that all of it is relevant to what my audience is needing right now?
Right.
So I would say that I would say that you pick what feels most natural and organic to you right now. And it may not be blogging. I'm not saying, I think you need a website and I think you need a blog on it. But for
Mhm.
you, if blogging just to my getting, because I mean, like literally, I know plenty of bloggers. I know some really good ones and I know some really bad ones. For
Mhm.
me, I don't do consistent blogging as far as adding new blog posts to my website.
Mhm.
But here's what I do. So like all of my, I took like literally one day I sat and I just put like some of my older blog posts that were still relevant. I repurposed those, updated them a little bit as far as the information, but I also just took my blog and turned it into a learning platform. So let me
Mhm.
share my screen with you again so that you can see exactly what I mean by that. Hold on.
Okay.
So I took rachelproctor.com. So here is what I mean. So I have Emerge University blog. So basically it's a free learning platform.
Mhm.
And I took all the content that I had on there. Hold on. And I created take free business mini courses.
Mhm.
And those business mini courses were actually just content that I had from another course that I had created. And I broke
Mhm.
it up into smaller bite-sized lessons. And so basically I just took my I used my search bar, which is just a search bar. It ain't nothing real fancy. It looks real fancy right here, but it's just a search bar that I put and I said I need help with, let's just say, marketing. And so it's going to pull up every post that I have tagged or has the word marketing in it. So how to name your business, marketing and branding, refining your business idea, pinpointing your purpose. Um, all of these are either tagged in that or they have the word marketing. See, this one has marketing in the blog post. So planning,
Mhm.
putting your email list, how to deal with discouragement. So these are all of the posts that are going to deal with that.
Okay.
And then let's just say and then all of these are like categorized. So these are all of the tags that I have. So like spiritual development. These are all of the posts that I have. And that's you right here on this post. Right here
Oh.
from, I think, Morsels and Mentorship 2018. But I
Mhm.
have all of these are posts that are for spiritual posts in spirit categorized under spiritual development. So with these particular posts, what's unique about these is that I don't have a date on it.
Okay.
I don't put a date so that people coming to my website won't see that it was that I wrote this. Well, this wasn't written 2 years ago. This might have been written a couple months ago. But as people come to my blog and as I continue, I don't feel compelled or pressured to create some new content for fear that people are going to see the last time I updated my blog was 3 years ago. As long as the
Mhm.
content is
Right.
still relevant, I say
Mhm.
keep it let it live on your blog as long as it can live, as long as it's
Okay.
still relevant. So I don't put a date on there so that it can just kind of live perpetually until it's no longer relevant to my target audience. So that
Okay.
kind of relieves me of the pressure of feeling like I have to constantly update my blog so that the dates look like I'm consistently adding content to my blog.
Mhm.
So that could be a thing for you. And like literally, I think I took a weekend and I just I just cranked out posts and videos. Like for these, let me show you. And this right here, this post right here is actually an old Facebook Live. This was a Facebook Live I did.
Mm.
And so I just took the Facebook Live and made it into a piece of content. And then I
Mm.
actually advertised a bundle, keys to successfully transition into a new to a new season, where they can click here to actually go and purchase it.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, and again, I'm not updating this every other time you turn around. I just make sure that it's still relevant. You know what I'm saying? Making
Mhm.
sure it's still relevant. As long as it's still relevant and as long as the links and stuff are working properly, I let it live here. And people that come to my blog and
Mhm.
watch or whatever they do, then,
Mhm.
that's what they do. But
Yeah.
yeah, so well, that's good. Like I said, I think what you have now will get you started. Um, but you need to, like I said, have your, do you know how to situate your links on, and you said you were going to use your Google Drive for your downloads, like to host your workbook and stuff like that on, so you can just provide the link. Do you know how to put your, how to structure your link so that it doesn't, so that people don't have to request access and all that stuff?
I don't. I think I'm gonna play with. I'm gonna have to play with it because
I think I didn't share my screen. I'm sorry. Let me find it. Google. Okay, so Google. Okay, can you see it? Okay, so when you get here, we're going to create, let me just do demo doc. And so how to create the link to share. Okay, so it's saving it. Then if I want to share it, then I'm going to get a shareable link. And so Ray Squared, that's my company. Anyone at Ray Squared, I want to make it more so public, anyone with the link. So anyone with the link can actually see it, can actually view it. So we want to just leave it at view, and this is what you're going to do. So you're going to give them, anyone with the link, I'm going to copy the link. And so when we go to, what I'm going to do is open up a incognito or a private page so you can see. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see. Did it stop sharing it?
No, I still see.
You can see my, okay. Now we're going to share that document. So now it shows you a view only picture. So you see it? It says view only. So then what we're going to do is you're going to advise the people that you're sharing the link with to go to, well, you can't do, I forgot you can't do it. You can't do it in a private page. Hold on. Okay, so now I have the link. So let's just go to this right here. Let me see. Let me close out all of this so I can show you what it'll do. But basically it's going to, take you, let me log out of here real quick. Trying to see so you can see it. Not signed in. Just paused. Okay. Okay, so I'm signed out. So it should take me to where you see the doc and it's saying view only. So you see view only? So now you're going to tell them to go. Why is it not letting me do that? Because we're in a Google Chrome. You must be logged. Oh, so you have to be logged into it. But see where it says make a copy?
Right.
You'll tell, they should, once they're logged into their Google account, they should be able to make, or logged into, yeah, they have to have a Google account. I want to say they have to have I want to say the link will just, you can see like where it says make a copy, and it'll do that. They need to just make a copy of that document. Or you could use Amazon. Amazon S3 has a link sharing, or you could use Dropbox.
Okay. Yeah,
so Dropbox is good for sharing, sharing and hosting documents. But Amazon S3, hold on. So let me show. Okay, so here's Amazon S3. This is kind of a robust system, and this is what I use for like sharing big files. And so Amazon S3. And so I have like different buckets, like all of my classes, like all of my app graphics and stuff like this. Like when I was sharing app graphics online, like see, all of these are different months where I would post links to these and put them in there. So let me see if I can find let me see if I can find what's the best one. So video teachings, we don't do that one. Let's just go. Teleclass file. These are old sessions. So basically, we're gonna host like this. All of these are MP3s, meaning like just recordings. Here's an old website training I did. So basically, you're gonna upload the file to it, and then it creates a link, and then you can say make it public so that anybody with the link can actually see it. And then see here, you can just copy the link, or either you can just click directly on it.
Are you still on the page where it's like a picture with people standing there and then like,
okay, hello
everyone? Icons at the bottom?
No, I'm not.
Okay, that's what it's stuck on.
Oh, with this Google page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm on a whole nother screen. So I'm on the Amazon S3 screen. Oh, okay, my pause. Bring your shared window to the front. Oh, that's what it was doing. Okay, so here we go. But anyway, Amazon S3, I don't know how to make it. It always confuses me whenever I have too many windows open. Yeah. But anyway, Amazon S3 is one that you could check out as well. It's pretty easy to use. Like I said, you just you can create different folders, upload your links to that. And then it creates a link, and then you just make the link public so anybody with the link can actually see the content. And you can host any myriad of different types of files on Amazon S3. And you can host really big files on Amazon S3.
Okay. And is that to put within Facebook, or is that just to store stuff?
To store stuff, but also like anywhere that you would need a link. So like if you want to say, if you have a PDF, that you want to share, like your workbook as a PDF, you can upload the workbook to Amazon S3, and it will create a link that is hosting that workbook. So like anywhere you put that link, so like if you put that link in a post in Facebook, like you remember when I was doing my Bible studies and I was hey, y'all download the workbook here, like that link was literally just a link from Amazon S3.
Okay, got
you. And you can just post that.
Then I was able to open up that.
Yeah, you can just copy and paste that link anywhere. Anywhere links are allowed, you can copy and paste it, and it'll host that where they can pull up that PDF or whatever they need to pull up.
Okay, I got it.
So I like Amazon S3 because it's a little bit less cumbersome. Like sometimes with Google Drive, like if you forget to set certain settings, it makes you request info. It keeps people restricted.
Yeah, a lot of permission and stuff.
So yeah, and then even with Dropbox, sometimes Dropbox can be a little cumbersome too. So Amazon S3 is a little bit straight across the board as it pertains to just allowing people to utilize, to create links that are pretty easy.
I'll probably go with Amazon, because I can remember I did a course with a lady, and she used Dropbox. She was protecting her stuff, which is understandable, but like I couldn't print it. Like it wasn't going in the right format or anything. It was real weird, and she was using Dropbox. So, and then I know Google Drive with permission and stuff. So I'll probably try Amazon.
Yeah, and then Amazon S3 is real cheap. Like it doesn't really cost anything, depending on what it costs something, but it's like sometimes like $1 or something a month. It depends on how much stuff you have uploaded. So it's real cheap. Yeah. So that's an option. But like I said, you can look at what works best for you. But hopefully this is enough to kind of get you going and kind of get you a little bit more organized mentally as far as how you'll approach it. And like I said, I have all of the office hours for the entire month of February. They're already posted in the group under office hours. So you can go to there, and you can see because I have one every week, up until the end of the month. So you can go and see which one I think the next one is either next Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, you just gave me a whole bunch of homework to hold good in. Yeah, I'm good.
And so if you need, like I said, if you need help with creating your content for each week, the stuff you're going to talk about, like I said, always keep it very concise. And remember, there's always the next day. So
Mhm.
don't feel compelled to stuff everything in one, in one session. You always have some extra days. And then you need to also save some content, for save your paid content.
Mhm. Okay. Got it. This is all noted.
Okay. Okay, I think we got you covered.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm ready to just, you know how it is when y'all that creativity gets to kicking in and it's just like light bulbs popping off and you just going. So I'm excited, about what's gonna come out and what will come to fruition. So yeah.
I think it's good. And so just do a checklist as far as like you said, setting up your Facebook group, creating, this, make sure so you kind of keep yourself organized and what's what, and knocking out those easiest things, the low hanging fruit first, get all that stuff set up, kind of get your, I would say, approach it from getting your foundation set up. And then start working, then start working on like the content. But you need to have your framework set up already. So whether that's your email list, getting all that stuff, your Facebook group, and your registration page, like your landing page, you can do that you can do that in MailChimp too. But make sure all of those things are set up so as soon as you open up the gate, you have everything that you need. And then make sure you test it a couple of times. Test the flow of it a couple of times. Make sure that everything is flowing as it should.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I got a lot to do. So yes, I surely appreciate all of this
And
knowledge.
let me tell you this, don't get discouraged either. Your first time doing this is it's gonna challenge everything within you. It's gonna challenge, and even with me, even having a system for things and having done it several times over now at this point, it still can be challenging for me because it's the same thing, it's just another level. So it's gonna be challenging, but like I said, when you start seeing people getting results and the light bulb coming on for people, it's gonna make it all worth it.
Okay, that's what I'm aiming for. So yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome.